Hey everybody, this is the second in our humidifier challenge or unboxing series. We actually got another one yesterday, the Crane, which we've been using, which we really like. So let's see, we're gonna unbox the Honeywell, use it for about a week or so, and then let you know what we think. This one is a similar size, it's a gallon water tank, just like the other Crane, usually medium rooms or so. It can go 24 hours. It also has an auto shut off on it. Let's open it up. We'll see what's in the box and we'll take a look. This one also claims to be ultra quiet. So we're gonna see if it actually is ultra quiet. Let's, in the meantime, just give it an open and see what's in the box. So let's take a look here. Get the box open for you. I got this one in black. It comes in two colors, black and also your standard white with the clear. We're gonna open it up. Standard stop questions, call the manufacturer in your instruction manual. And I'm gonna pull it out. Not much to this one either. Let's take a look. It's undone here and we'll see what exactly the parts are. It's been really cold, especially here in the Northeast and throughout the country, so we figured this would be a good test and time. So let's pretty much have the base. Very similar to the Crane. You have the different speed settings we're going to see. The design is pretty straightforward. The only thing I actually wasn't able to find out about this, the Crane does have a microbacterial, antibacterial coating in the base. I could not find anywhere that actually states that this does, which means that it'll be a lot harder to actually clean if you leave water in it and it's not used every day. You may have a harder time cleaning the base. And we're going to do a separate episode on that. And that's an interesting opening they have. Very big opening, which is cool. So you should be able to fit this into most sinks as well. And the top, the only thing that I don't like right away, which I really liked about the Crane had that 360-degree rotation, and this doesn't have that. May or may not be an issue, and there's also a nice little handle there, so when you fill it, you can carry it easily. Again, I like that the Crane top came off, and it was really nicely designed. So, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. I'm gonna get this rolling in action, see how it is. We're gonna get back to you in a couple of days and let you know what we think of this compared to the Crane and which one does better. And let's go fill it with water and get it into action. Hey everybody, so we're gonna fill this. I always go to a regular sink in the house and not the kitchen sink because sometimes you're upstairs or in a different room or part of your house and then you wanna fill it without having to go downstairs to your kitchen sink. So like I said, the nice thing about this, it's a really big opening so you can get most faucets in. Again, the only thing that I don't like really about the design right off the bat is that the top doesn't rotate 360 and it's fixed. I like on the other piece that it actually does come off. And this does feel a little bit cheaper than the other. So let's take a look. So let's see if it fits into the sink. Nope. So it actually will fit in the sink, but it's actually much tighter. We're gonna fill this with cold water now. So when we tilt it out, we're actually not gonna be able to fill this to the rim. Because again, I try and go into a small sink where this is a gallon capacity. The Crane was also a gallon capacity, and it was actually able to be filled in the sink. And most of that's due to the fact that the Crane, that 360-degree rotation piece at the top, comes off, which gives you that 2 inches to be able to fill this totally. So I can't personally, in our house, in this particular bathroom, which has the smallest sink, I actually can't fill it all the way. And watch what's gonna happen. So I'm at the brink here. It's almost all filled. But when I take it out, we're gonna lose a chunk of the water. Okay, so kind of does fail and doesn't. Let's get it locked. So you can see by looking at it how much actually, I don't know if you could see through because it's very dark tinted, but we're actually at about a little over half filled. So let's go get it in action and we'll see how it is. So we were just in the bathroom. I wasn't able to fill it. It was about maybe 60% full. I had to go to the kitchen sink again. As you saw in the video, the top piece is fixed. I couldn't fit it in the small sink. Some people that may matter to, other people's it might not. So what we're gonna do now is put it onto the base station. And you'll hear the gurgling. You can see the bubbles go. I have it already plugged in, so we're just gonna turn it on and see how powerful or not. Hello, Honeywell. So here we go. I had to take off the top, turning the power off and on to see if it would work. So initially out of the box, it did actually not work. So we adjusted settings. I checked the inside, make sure everything looked okay. Checked the bottom of the reservoir. Again, everything seemed to be fine. We saw the gurgle. There's water in the base, so why isn't it giving cool mist? And finally, after playing with there's a little float inside the reservoir on the base. After playing with that and finally getting it to move, we were able to get it operational. But out of the box, it did not work. So if you can see the mist, this is at full speed now. Putting a decent amount into the air. You can see at the top it's leaking a little bit around the edges. Again, that's what I really liked about the crane model. And I'll show you what you can do. They say that this gallon should last you about 24 hours. If it's really dry, it's not going to be the case unless you have it on really low. And this is the lowest, the lowest setting without turning it on. So we're going to turn it all the way up, let it run, and see how it goes. It's a decent amount of mist coming out, and we'll let you know in a couple days exactly what we think. One other thing we wanted to mention, if you notice we got the black finish on this one, the clear white top and clear tank were actually sold out on Amazon. But we wanted to point out that with the black finish, you do see after the mist dries, you do see a film on top. It actually looks dusty all the time, but it's actually not. And this actually drove my wife crazy. But just something to mention that you will get this film on top depending upon the type of your water and the type of water you have. Once the mist dries, you may see a film on top as we're showing currently. So we're here with the conclusion of our humidifier test. We tested a crane, ultra quiet 1 gallon unit versus a Honeywell 1 gallon unit. So I'm just going to give you the results of the Honeywell, and be sure to check out our head-to-head comparison of both humidifiers as well. So we have it on. Again, the one thing I want to point out with this one is when we took it out of the box and we first set it up, the float in the reservoir at the bottom, there's a little float there. It actually, for some reason, wasn't working, and I had to move it up and down a couple of times and reseat the unit about 5 or 6 times before it actually started to work. Since then, this unit actually we're going to send back to Amazon because I personally think it's a little defective. We have a 50-50 chance when we take it off and put it on that it'll work the first time putting it down after the reservoir fills and after you fill the reservoir, and then you put it down and then it fills the base and starts working. We put it on the first time and I was baffled, and then we started playing with it and we realized that. Some pros and cons of this. Cons in my opinion, and this may not be or may be an issue for you, but if you were in a room and you wanted to change this only rotates about 90 degrees, which to me is, it's not as nice as the design of the crane where you can rotate it a full 360. The gallon of water will last you 24 hours. On a high setting, you can probably get about, we've been getting about 10, 11 hours on the high setting that you're looking at now. On the low, maybe 3/4 setting, it will last you for 24 hours, and we did test that, which is nice to know. Some other negatives of it is not as quiet as the crane unit. I don't know if you can hear now, and I'll bring the microphone in just to get a close-up. You hear that everlasting drip. There's a center piece in the reservoir where the water comes up, but whatever comes up and doesn't go out actually drips back down. And if you can hear that noise, the dripping constantly, that's actually inside the unit. So it doesn't stop doing that. Again, this might be defective. Again, we had the issue with it turning on, but I think the noise is just a noise. So is it as quiet as the crane? It's not. And again, I can't tell you if that's because this unit's defective, because the problem we're having, I don't think relates to the water dripping down that center piece in there. And let me just show you what I'm talking about quick. When I lift it up, the mist gets shot up in there and there's a center tube. And it's a never-ending sound. We used it in our bedroom for 2 nights, and it did make a lot of noise. My son's been using it since, and it made noise, especially when it's dead quiet at night. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the description. We will do our best to answer them. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of great reviews, tech stuff coming, and a bunch of other videos that we plan on posting. And we'll see you next time.